When you're requesting an IPv4 and IPv6 address from your internet service provider, what are you going to end up with? Well, it depends on who you are and what your requirements are. For example, if you're dealing with IPv4, if you're a home user or a really small office and you only need one IP address in those cases, well, then you're just going to get one IPv4 address. However, if you are a much larger office, an enterprise environment, then you may be receiving a block of public IPv4 addresses. So that way there you can assign some public IP addresses to the web servers, file servers, whatever servers or resources are needed to have a public IP address so that they can be accessible from the internet. However, if you're dealing with IPv6, if you're an end user, you're going to get a /64. And if you remember, with IPv6, you have a 128-bit IPv6 address, which is cut right in half. That's that /64 mark. Everything to the right of the /64 is your interface identifier, or the host portion of that IPv6 address. So what does that mean? It means that in this 1/64 network, you have the ability to support 2 to the power of 64 devices. That's a lot of devices you could have as an end user. But that's the way they are being assigned. If you are an enterprise environment, larger organization, let's say, you will probably get a /48, 52, or 56 based on your requirements, needs, and so forth of the users inside of your organization. And all of these are if you recall, from an IPv6 address, the 4th quartet, and in that 4th quartet, that's the quartet that you get to play with. That's the one that you get to subnet in. So if you get a 48, 52, or 56, you can subnet from those values up to a /64, and then you can distribute those within your organization. However, when it comes to the actual IP address spaces and how they're being assigned, where are they coming from? Well, they can either be provider independent or they can be provider assigned. Provider assigned simply means that your local ISP is giving you the IPv4 or IPv6 addresses from their local address space, their local pool of addresses. So it is identifying you as a customer directly connected to that particular ISP. And what that means is that if you ever change ISPs, a complete renumbering is needed, because the new ISP is going to give you a new provider assigned IP address space that is part of their address space, and then you're going to renumber, readdress your environment, your public infrastructure, based on this new IP addressing scheme. And this is okay in those environments whereby you have single home connectivity to a single ISP. And you might have dual routers or dual links to that single ISP, but that's fine. But what if you are connected to multiple ISPs? ISP1, ISP2, dual link, dual home, dual routered, whatever it may be. Well, this is where the provider independent option comes into play. And in this case, you are assigned your IP address space from the internet registry, the local internet registry. So if we go back and take a look at this again, if you're in North America, there's your RIR, your regional internet registry, ARIN. And as a result, you will be provided your IP address. You'll be assigned that IP address from ARIN instead, your regional internet registry.